Welcome back. Today we're stepping into the FaithFlow Campaign Series. This is part of the wider FaithFlow rooted ministry.
hmm
And the resource we're looking at today, the Rapid Response Crisis Guide, it really hits on something that feels, well, incredibly visceral.
It really does.
Yeah.
I think before we even talk about strategy, you just have to name the emotion the book is for. It's heavy.
Yeah, it's that specific pressure, that tightening in your chest. I'm
Right.
thinking of that 2 a.m. character assassination, or you
Uh,
wake up and there's a soundbite of you that's just been completely twisted.
It's a digital wildfire.
And you're the fuel. It's panic.
It is panic, pure and simple. It reminds me of that story in Mark 4 with the disciples on the boat. These were seasoned fishermen,
Professionals.
professionals who knew the water better than anyone, and they were terrified when the storm hit.
Yeah.
So if you're in a campaign and
Yeah.
you feel that panic rising before you've even had breakfast, you are absolutely not alone.
Okay, but this is where I have to push back a little. The book suggests this checklist: stop, shop, pray.
It does.
And look, I get the sentiment. I really do. But in the real world, when Twitter is exploding and your reputation is on the line, is a candidate actually going to stop and pray?
It feels completely counterintuitive.
It does. Every bone in your body screams, fight back now.
But that's exactly why it works.
Yeah.
It's designed specifically for the first 90 minutes of a crisis.
Mm-hmm.
That immediate reactive scramble,
Yeah.
that's usually where the fatal mistake is made. Not the crisis itself, but the reaction.
So it's a circuit breaker.
It's a total circuit breaker.
Yeah.
You stop the physical action of typing. You drop into humility, and you pray, inviting the Holy Spirit in. It's not about being pious. It's about breaking that adrenaline loop. It shifts you from reactive panic to what the guide calls prayer-driven purpose.
So that brings us to the actual response. They have this filter, FIRE, fact, intent, risk, edify. Fact, intent, risk, those make perfect sense. But edify, that means to build up. If someone is attacking you, aren't you supposed to, dismantle their argument, not build them up?
And that's the key insight right there. In a political fight, the instinct is to destroy.
Of course.
But edify acts as a strategic check. It forces you to ask, does my response demonstrate the character I claim to have? You might win the tweet war, but if you snap back, you just look small. Edifying keeps you acting like a leader.
So it's about preventing self-sabotage, really.
It's what the book calls vertical surrender before horizontal defense.
Okay, break that down.
You get right with God, that's the vertical, before you try to defend yourself to the critics, the horizontal.
Sure.
It's about stewarding your influence.
Now, I noticed this isn't just a standalone guide. It seems to connect to a whole system. There's a spiritual gifts quiz in the back.
Right. And this is where FaithFlow gets really practical, because not everyone panics in the same way.
What do you mean?
Well, if you have what they call truth gifts, your first reaction is to argue the facts. You want to pull out the receipts immediately.
And if you don't, if you have, care gifts?
If you have care gifts, your panic looks different.
Yeah.
You're not worried about the facts. You're terrified about how people feel, who's getting hurt. The guide helps you tailor your response so you don't just react based on your personality.
They also have these multimedia elements, a flip book, a song, and the song Through the Tempest. It sounds less like bonus content and more like a tool.
It is a tool. It
Yeah.
goes right back to that panic we talked about.
Right.
You can't think clearly if your heart rate is through the roof.
Right.
The song is there to literally anchor you, to physically lower your heart rate. Same with the flipbook story about the candidate who chose a reset instead of a rebuttal. She realized truth doesn't have to shout. It just stands.
It seems like the whole point is just alignment. So
Yeah.
you don't burn out trying to be someone you're not made to be.
That's it, exactly. FaithFlow isn't about performing perfectly. It's about living out your faith so you don't lose your soul trying to win a seat.
That's a powerful thought to end on. If you're listening and you're in the thick of it, just remember you were called for such a time as this. You really don't have to carry it all alone.
And remember that silence isn't always weakness. Sometimes stillness is the strongest move you can make.